You're going to take it to the rock show? Isn't that a Blink-182 song?
Fell in love with the girl at the rock show. Yes, it is. Off of Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Hey, I knew something about Blink-182. It's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew, and over there is Brandon.
That's me.
You can find us online at namely90s.com or on Instagram and Bluesky at namely90s. You can also find us on YouTube every Monday at youtube.com/@namely90s. And if you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/namely90s, also with a 90s, and sign up for one of our support levels, including the Vegas vacation, where you pay for us to go to Vegas with or without you, depending on how much you pay.
Yeah, I did like, isn't like the lower tier, we go to Vegas without you. And then the higher tier, we take you with us.
Speaking of Vegas, I'm actually going to Vegas tomorrow. I'm flying out in the morning, got a work function for about 5 days out there. That's
pretty cool that they're putting you up in Vegas for 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, the training center just happens to be in Las Vegas by the airport. But you know what else is by the airport in Las Vegas? The Strip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we're staying in a hotel on the Strip, and then they're shuttling us back to the airport daily near the airport for the training.
That's less cool.
Yeah. I mean, they just feel like there's pressure in Vegas, like, and there's a lot going on. If this is just like, you know, at the Marriott in
New Mexico,
you know, St. Louis or something next to the airport, that'd be different.
Yeah.
But now you're on the Strip, but like the crappy part of the Strip.
Yeah. I mean, there's still the same amount of sex workers, but Vegas quality just so much higher.
Las Vegas just feels so dated. Even the newer parts of Vegas seem dated, you know?
I mean, they keep trying to reinvent themselves. They actually have good restaurants now instead of like celebrity-owned restaurants.
I feel like I'm not going to the best hotel at the Paris, though.
Yeah, Paris is a bit dated, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, it's weird. Like we walked through Bally's when we were there back when. And it's like Bally's, it's like, it feels like a shopping mall from like the late 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Also, what's Bally's? Like it's a weird sports network on the East Coast now.
I always assumed it was Bailey's.
It also sounds like a place you'd buy exercise equipment. Like it sounds like a manufacturer of exercise equipment.
Is that not like Bally Home Gym or Bally Home Fitness? Is that
maybe
not a
it
thing?
is?
I think that's a thing.
Man, I feel like I'm spiking all over the place with my levels here.
Wow. Whereas I'm still low, but I'm sure.
I feel like it's because my gain got turned up by accident.
That might be why, he says, as he just looks at his gain and doesn't turn it down.
Well, at this point, I don't feel like I should turn it down.
That's fair. It's not like I could just cut your
or my main mix. Anyway, so Vegas, going there tomorrow.
Nice.
I upgraded to Economy Plus.
Ooh, that means you'll get more leg room, but not more wide room.
Well, I don't personally. I mean, I do okay with that, and it's only like a 2-hour flight.
Yeah, I mean, I would do Economy Plus if they had it on the planes from here to Seattle.
They do, but it's not really much better.
Not on Alaska.
Really? Oh, I always fly Delta, so I wouldn't know.
Well, it's because it's those Embraer Airs.
Yeah, I know. The Delta planes have that. They have
Economy Plus?
Plus, yeah.
Well, maybe I just like paying for first class because it's just
it's fine. Easier. Economy Plus has 1 extra inch of leg room, if that. Like it's really there's no difference.
It's like what leg room felt like.
Yeah, it's just 90s. Regular leg room 20 years ago, exactly. So I don't know. I don't mind. It'll be fun. And then I'm moving after. So it's going to be a busy next 5 to 8 days.
So fun. And hopefully by the point in time when this episode's released, you'll be all
these things should be done already.
Yeah.
Yep, you got it.
But who knows? So just to date this, hey, Andrew, guess what?
What?
Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman may come back for a Practical Magic 2.
Didn't know there was a Practical Magic 1.
Me neither. I wish I had a follow-up article. It's a 90s movie, 1998 movie of two witchy sisters, and apparently it's like a Hocus Pocus Halloween type movie, except with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. And
because the Owens sisters, Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock, argue about manslaughter and pancakes in Practical Magic.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more mature than Hocus Pocus.
I also want to say the word manslaughter is man's laughter as well.
Yes. Maybe they were talking about some guy that was laughing in the background. Yeah, I honestly, I've never heard of Practical Magic, even in all of the searches I've done on the 90s.
Wait, is this the movie with like Woody Harrelson where they rob someone using magic? No, that's Now You See Me. That's I also thought that the I'm spiking your word. The Christopher Nolan magic movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that also was Now You See Me. It's not. What was that? The Illusionist.
Oh, I always get The Illusionist confused with I was going to say Master and Commander. That's not it. The Greatest Showman. Nope. Huh.
Yeah, that The Illusionist is not related to Christopher Nolan at all.
No, but Christian Bale's in that one, right?
No.
What's the one where it's Christian Bale and he keeps cloning himself, and that's how he does the illusions? Spoilers.
What? I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm thinking of.
Greatest Showman.
Okay, well, no one knows.
I'm sure there's people screaming at us right now.
Yeah, people who you don't really want to like hang out with.
The Machinist. No.
Okay.
No, it's The Prestige.
The Prestige. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
They're all, to me, the movie Now You See Me with Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson.
That wasn't Michael Cera? I'm kidding.
They're the same person.
I actually liked Now You See Me because I watched that in a Vegas hotel room, I feel like. Or maybe it was set in a Vegas hotel room. I also get that one confused with Jumper, I think it's called. I know it's not Looper. Looper was a sci-fi one. I guess Jumper is too, but Jumper was like Hayden Christensen and I want to say Mila Kunis, who's in Jumper. And like he had some magic ability where he could just like instant transmission across the planet. It was bad, but it's entertaining. It shows that Hayden Christensen can actually act, which is surprising based off of well, actually, we don't hate Hayden Christensen anymore. It's not a thing that we do. He came back to Star Wars. He did well. He's a decent actor. But
yeah.
The prequels also exist.
Yeah, those were a thing that happened.
Yeah. Speaking of the prequels, have you seen this Acolyte show that every incel is angry about on the internet right now?
No, I think I've heard of it lightly, but that's about it.
It's a new Star Wars show on Disney Plus, and it's set in the late High Republic era, which is about 100 years before the prequels. And people are losing their minds. Well, I say people, but neck-bearded men are losing their minds because it's like stars a black girl who is a twin, and they make the Jedi look bad, and like there's there's 4 switches, and the last episode had all this like coven stuff and women power stuff, and they're now review bombing the show just because it's like, this isn't Star Wars.
What is Star Wars even though?
I know, right? It's a space sci-fi fantasy thing, like, and these people are writing it. This is Star Wars, whether you like it or haven't.
Yeah, this is what it's all made up.
Yes.
It can be anything that they want it to be.
And it can't go back in time and kill your childhood.
No, exactly.
And if you don't like certain parts of it, don't watch it.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll grant you that.
Like you can no one's coming into your house and forcing you with a gun to either A, watch it, B, be like, this is how you should interpret it or whatever, and C, to make you go woke or gay or I don't know. Fuck you people.
Also, if you're a purist and you think like the original trilogy is Star Wars, then just watch that.
Exactly.
Don't watch other things. Like, no one's putting a gun to your head. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're a Star Wars fan. You're not just like a fan of the 3 movies. I mean, I think there's a little bit of like, there is a shameless amount of content being made.
Oh yeah, sure.
And I don't think it's really aimed at quality at this point, but still.
Yeah. I feel like they're trying. Like,
it's kind of weird. There were the 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were the 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
There were the 3 movies.
There was a animated show, 2 animated shows.
And then there was animated, then 3 movies, and then 13 shows. Just instant, like, what happened? There was no, like, slow your roll a little bit here.
Well, there was also those 2 other movies, and between the last 3 movies, so they made 5 movies in that time span. And I think I want to say The Mandalorian started before Rise of Skywalker came out, but I don't remember. No, you're right. It was those 5 movies, two Star Wars stories. But then they just
went nuts on all these shows.
Yeah, thanks Disney. Thanks. And then like people just hate on Kathleen Kennedy because she's a woman. Like, grow up. You're not the Supreme Court. That's topical today because they said that you can have access to a certain abortion pill, but come back with a better written reason why you want it banned. And
also, can I just say, this whole thing about Clarence Thomas, this is now kind of old news, taking trips funded by this GOP person, Harlan Crow. Like, can I just say, Clarence Thomas is black, and Harlan Crow sounds like a direct descendant of Jim Crow.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there's some inconsistency there with like accepting Gip. Like, no one's name has ever sounded more racist than that. You know what I mean? I mean,
have you seen, I think he's like he's either like a mayor or a governor or a House rep that is like a potential running mate for Trump. He's black, and he had those comments that were like, the black family was held together better under Jim Crow, and just like, really?
Harlan Crow sounds like if Colonel Sanders decided to just sell buckets of racism in his restaurant, you know? Just the name Harlan? Are you kidding me? Oh gosh. Anyway, I just found that a bit amusing today.
Yeah. And they also said that in vitro fertilization, I think they upheld a ruling against in vitro fertilization, which was interesting. Yeah. So
busy day over there at your court, taking all those trips on private jets and telling people what they can and can't do with their own bodies.
I think it was that all embryos, even IVF embryos, are embryos.
Right. But then in some states, they like realized that there was a conflict there.
Mhm.
And then they were like, oh, okay, you can't destroy embryos unless it's for IVF. And then the liberals were like, no. Like, if you want to do one, you got to do all of them. And then the Republicans were like, knock it off.
Yeah, the Southern Baptists Southern Baptists have voted opposing IVF. So,
hey, wow,
good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sarcasm, by the way. Just to be clear.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right, though. Abortions are against God's will, but putting like 10 fertilized. What are you? Why is the word not coming to mind? Embryos into someone with a sharpened drinking straw. Totally fine. Like, it's just beyond asinine.
I mean, I still imagine a turkey baster because I'm a child.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how it exactly works, but I feel like there's some sort of poking device, like a sharpened poking device.
I'm fairly sure it's not a turkey baster.
I think we're well over time here.
Yes. So moving on from both African American and women's rights issues discussed by two white men. I
think it's important to also state that I was making light of the irony of the fact that a black justice is taking essentially bribes from the most racist sounding white person's name ever. Mm-hmm. And that as far as women's rights, you can't have your cake and eat it too. That's what I'm saying as far as the asinine policies of the right wingers.
And we haven't even gotten to Justice Alito's wife again.
Yeah, we did talk about that. Okay, anyway, moving on to something lighter.
She got crazier, by the way.
Cool.
Lighter, but still uniquely Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I get you.
We're gonna do a boot or reboot.
Man, Shrek.
We're gonna do a boot or reboot this week. It's 4th of July this week. Happy. It doesn't feel good to do that anymore. America's birthday, everyone. But also, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F is dropping on Netflix today, tomorrow, on the 4th.
I'm not sure.
It's one of these days, and I just thought maybe we should look back at the last time they tried to reboot it in Beverly Hills Cop 3, which came out in the 90s, instead of looking at the original from the 80s, because I guess that would be cheating. We're a 90s podcast.
True.
Just to preface this, Andrew, Beverly Hills Cop 3, Eddie Murphy was asked in 1989 after finishing Beverly Hills Cop 2, which I think is a pretty decent movie. He was asked about a third installment, and he said, "There's no reason to do it. I don't need the money, and it's not going to break any new ground. How often can you have Axel Foley talk fast and get into a place he doesn't belong?" But these MFers are developing scripts for it. They're in pre-production. The only reason to do a Cop 3 is to beat the bank. And Paramount ain't going to write me no check as big as I want to do something like that. In fact, if I do a Cop 3, you can safely say, "Ooh, he must have got a lot of money." End quote. 7 years later.
Imagine being so well off that you could just say, "I'm not going to do that because the art isn't good enough for the amount of..." It's like, BS. I would do it for 1/10 the money.
7 years later.
Get over yourself.
Beverly Hills Cop 3 came out. And this is the synopsis. When his boss is killed, Detroit cop Axel Foley, Eddie Murphy, finds evidence that the murderer has ties to a California amusement park called Wonder World. Returning to Beverly Hills once more, Foley reunites with Detective Billy Rosewood, played by Judge Reinhold, to solve the case, along with Billy's new partner, John Flint, played by Hector Ilonz.
So he waited 7 years for that script?
Yep. And they discovered that the security force of Wonderworld is actually a part of a counterfeit money operation headed by the park manager, Orrin Sanderson, played by John Saxon.
He must have spent all of his money on cocaine and needed more.
I believe there was some sort of legal issue, where he was found escorting a trans sex worker in his convertible.
Needed money for his legal expenses.
Yeah.
Wonderworld.
Ready for this? I always ask.
Yes. In a world.
Hello, welcome to the Beverly Hills Police Department. To continue this message in English, press 1 pound. If you have homeless people on your lawn, press 2 star.
So what brings you to California, Axel? Vacation?
I'm looking for a killer. One, please. We got some evidence that points to Wonderworld.
Thank you.
Thank you. You mean Rufus Rabbit has gone berserko?
You got yourself.
So clearly there's a different theme park that they're in that they probably wanted to use for this. Don't think they had the money.
So they're at like not a real Six Flags or something.
Kind of looks like a Six Flags, yeah, but it's definitely a Disneyland knockoff called Wonderworld.
So stupid.
Yeah.
In the middle of a federal investigation.
That guy killed a police officer. He killed a friend of mine.
You just keep him out of my face and out of my park.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a tremendous surprise for Mr. Duwall to have me standing right next to him right now. You know, right now I can feel his body tingling.
Bring that man down.
Code red on the spider.
Now, hold on tight.
Isn't Anaheim nowhere near Beverly Hills, by the way?
Yeah, no, they're saying this theme park is in Beverly Hills.
Why did they get the money for the land?
Yeah,
People in Beverly Hills don't go to theme parks.
Where in Beverly Hills is this? Yeah, they wouldn't want the kind of clientele that goes to a theme park.
Yeah, the carnies and the white trash.
Exactly.
Wow, that looked really realistic.
Axel,
The green screen's bad.
Officers, I want this man arrested.
I'm sure you can explain everything, or maybe you can't explain anything.
You're going back to Detroit.
You got to turn yourself in, man.
Why is it so hard for y'all to see there's something rotten going on at that park?
Kill him.
What are these gun sounds? They sound like blaster noises.
To be fair, one of the shootout scenes when he storms the park is in like a sci-fi dark ride. So
But it was like an Uzi, and it sounded like a blaster.
I'm just saying they might have mixed in different gunshots for the trailer.
Gosh.
But yeah, it did sound like a space blaster. Yes. Yeah.
Surge, right? I'm like dazzled by your new look. Look at your skin and your hair. And then finally you have black hash poopies, which are totally retro, which I love. You put a really good package together.
Looks like a no holds barred suck fest. Anyway.
And clearly, that 90s homophobic comedy right at the end there.
Oh yeah, classic.
Always good. And yeah, thoughts on that so far?
All I can say, like I said, no holds barred suck fest. It did not look good.
No holds barred suck fest.
It looked very phoned in, which is so funny because of how like
on the money.
It just makes Eddie Murphy look so foolish for the comments he made previously. Like that was what he waited on.
Yeah, but they must have given him some money. And then for Axel F, the plot synopsis we have so far is after his daughter's life is threatened, wisecracking detective Axel Foley teams up with a new partner, I believe played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and some old pals, Judge Reinhold and the original guy that was in the other two movies, to turn up the heat on a conspiracy.
The guy who was in the original. That's funny.
I don't remember his name. You'd recognize him. He plays like a cop and everything.
Good
I'm
morning,
seeing
everybody.
your
It's another beautiful day
file
here in
browser.
Beverly Hills.
Okay, I've sent the wrong thing. Let's try that again.
You appear to have shared the wrong screen.
The screen I meant to share is this one. That makes more sense. I was like, why are you seeing my file browser?
Good morning, everybody. It's another beautiful day here in Beverly Hills.
What the hell was that?
Let me guess. Foley.
Did you say Foley? Foley! We stole a helicopter!
I didn't realize
That one,
you couldn't
yeah.
really fly a helicopter. Otherwise, I would have came up with a different idea. I told you it was a bad idea. Oh, he shot my rotor off.
So I did make you watch this already, didn't I?
Yes. Also, I was just going to say, I did notice a folder that said incriminating things Andrew has said over the last 4 years. No, you did show me this before. And yeah, so it's familiar. It's familiar. Yeah.
You know, this is very embarrassing. You know, part of me rather get locked up than get put in this little Fisher-Price looking squad car. Y'all are the Lego cops.
Jane, hey, this is your father. Before you hang up, I'm in town. I've been arrested. And hello?
You sure y'all paying y'all's bills? Because this phone don't work.
I like how they put him back in the like the Detroit Lions jacket that they didn't have in the last trailer.
Yeah,
but it's like his signature look.
First time in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I saw that. 84, 87, and then 94. But this place has changed a bit.
What brings you back to 90210?
Was it Kevin Bacon? Who was that?
That is Kevin Bacon.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's why it looks like Kevin Bacon.
You gotta do something.
Axel, if you damage any city property...
And speaking of Helen Hunt, oh wait, we didn't mention
it's a lot of stunts, but they all look really fake.
It is a Netflix movie.
Okay.
But and then isn't that Paul Reiser, I believe?
From what was that show?
Mad About You.
Mad About You
With Helen Hunt.
You're in a snowplow?
Yeah, we in a damn snowplow. What's the problem?
How did they get a snowplow?
Spots in the snowplow.
They're in Detroit pretty soon.
Okay.
You're pissing off a lot of people. That means we're getting close. Y'all safe? Everybody safe?
There's no seatbelt in the middle.
What the hell with the seatbelt? We're on the edge.
That appears to be a semi-truck plowing through a front of a Bel Air home.
Looks expensive, the home.
Yeah. And also mostly fake. It's especially the pieces of plywood. Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna need some backup.
Whoa! What are you doing?
Getting us some backup.
God, I missed you, Axel.
Out tomorrow.
Yeah, I remember I was a little mad that they kind of like ruined the theme song, like by trying to make it too cool and like make the explosions timed to the beat and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit much.
It is a bit much. It's
boy.
Yeah. Axel Foley's space laser gun to your head.
I think the story is probably weaker for number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think the overall look and sort of visual effects, as bad as the visual effects were in that one, was worse in the third one.
That green screen Eddie Murphy on the Ferris wheel, that was
I just
bad.
don't think third movies have a lot to offer. And then
True.
the fourth movie either is much worse or actually quite a bit better.
I mean, it's not even 4. It's Reboot. It's Axel F.
Well,
Maybe
you know what I
we'll
mean.
do Axel G next.
And most of the cast, many of the cast members are the same instead of a full like reboot. I gotta go with the new one.
I did the Namely 90s Minute this week on Beverly Hills Cop 3, and I gotta say, he kills a lot of the park security. Like just straight up murders them.
Great.
So, are you sure that doesn't entice you?
No, it's definitely the newer one. And like, the thing is, if I watched number 3, I would be mad the whole time. Like, it would be maddening. Whereas
absolutely.
number 4 would be like kind of a romp and a little bit cheesy, but you know, it's fun.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it.
Yeah.
It looks like Judge Reinhold has a cameo.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So,
there you have it. Buddha Reboot. Back in 2 weeks, people.
Well, now let's go to Brandon for the Namely 90s Minute.
Welcome back to Namely 90s Minute. Every week we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helps stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of Axel F on Netflix, we're looking back at the last failed reboot of the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, Beverly Hills Cop III. Beverly Hills Cop 3 is a 1994 action comedy film starring Dr. Dolittle, Brad Hamilton from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Philip Waters from Chicago Hope, Wilbur Post from Mr. Ed, with cameos from the singer of Take Me to the River, Wanda from Good Times, and the creator of Star Wars. The story starts in Detroit with Beverly Hills Cop attempting to bust a car theft ring gone wrong, which results in the death of a superior officer, which BHC takes personally, especially after being stopped by Secret Service telling him there's a larger scheme at work. BHC finds a bunch of clues that leads him back to a Disneyland knockoff in Beverly Hills, so he flies out there and reunites with Billy Rosewood, who has been promoted to Deputy Director of Operations for Joint System Interdepartmental Operational Command, and his new partner John Flint, who calls the head of Park Security at Not Disneyland to let them know that BHC is headed there to investigate. While investigating, he gets shot at and has hand-to-hand combat with Park Security, and then has to save some kids from a Ferris wheel when the Park Security shoots at it. He's then apprehended by the Park Security head and recognizes him as the man who killed his superior back in Detroit. Later, BHC is met by the park's owner and a park employee/love interest who tells him about a missing park designer who left only a cryptic message. After that, BHC attends a private Law Enforcement of the Year award ceremony, because that's a thing in this hack movie, where the bad guy is getting the award and BHC pulls a Kanye and tries to goad him into giving away his nefarious ways, but it is unsuccessful. Later, BHC discovers that in a sectioned off part of the park, the bad guys are counterfeiting money, and the chop shop incident in Detroit was used to get mint paper for it. The park owner gets shot and BHC is framed for it, but BHC takes the owner to the hospital and then decides to storm the park to clear his name, killing many armed park security, who I guess were also evil counterfeiters, and eventually kills the guy who killed his friend. The other bad guy was working with one of the government agents and gets killed by him, and then shoots and kills him after the bad agent does a villain monologue and they have a brief struggle. The movie ends with BHC getting a character named after him at the park, where he murdered multiple people, and starts a relationship with that park employee love interest from earlier. And that's Beverly Hills Cop 3 in a Namely 90s Minute. More or less.
And now back to the show.
All right. Did you see how many people he murdered in that Namely 90s Minute?
So many people.
So many people.
One guy is just like serving him a corn dog and he just shoots him right in the face.
Pretty much. But it is the 4th of July, the day after tomorrow. So, I thought we would play a Letterboxd review game. I call it ID4 or ID Bore, where I've taken Letterboxd reviews for Independence Day, which is a 1996 American science fiction action film directed by Roland Emmerich. Go watch our Namely 90s Minute on that from, I want to say last year or the year before. It stars an ensemble cast of Will Smith, Bill Pullman, Jeff Goldblum, Mary McDonnell, Judd Hirsch, Margaret Collin, Randy Quaid, Robert Loggia, James Ray, okay, and Harvey Firestein. And yeah, you know ID4 came out in the 90s. One of the best it's disaster movies technically of the 90s. And then in 2016, Roland Emmerich directed, co-wrote, and co-produced Independence Day Resurgence, which I think we've talked about before on the show.
We did.
And it's a sequel to Independence Day. It claims to have an ensemble cast that consists of Liam Hemsworth, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Micah Monroe, Travis Trope, and Judd Hirsch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Will Smith just do it?
Yeah, I mean, it's 20 years. He did that stupid one with his son.
It's just such BS when these actors are too good for themselves and they just make stuff. It's ridiculous.
I like the movies. His movie choices in the last decade have been terrible.
Also, I guess we should have known after seeing the scene where he punches the alien in the face because he annoyed him that would be coming later.
Welcome to Earth. Yes. Chris Rock. He told the alien to welcome to Earth, Chris Rock. And he told the alien to keep his wife's name out of its damn mouth.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. I guess I should read a review from each. This is from Independence Day, 3 stars. Is it really America Day? Oh, from Kat. Is it really America Day if you don't watch Will Smith kick alien ass? ? And then for Independence Day Resurgence, we have 2 stars from Adam Bolt. I liked when Liam Hemsworth pissed on the aliens. So there you go. Those are the 2 reviews. Let's give you 10 or so of these and see how it turns out. Question 1. Review number 1 star. My only problem with this film was watching it, and this is from Jizz Monkey. 1 word.
My problem with this film was watching it.
And that's with the J.
That to me, I mean, I know you try to trick me every time. But if someone says that about the first movie, their opinion is wrong. So this has got to be the second movie.
It is 1 star. And that's your final answer?
Yeah.
Well, this person's opinion is wrong. That was a review for Independence Day.
I should have known. Should have known you would have done that to me.
Yep, just right off the bat. All right, next one we got 4 stars from Cinema Joe. A lot of hot people, pedal to the metal pacing, explosions galore, and a lot of hot people. I miss the time when Emmerich had the juice. A lot of hot people, pedal to the metal pacing, explosions galore, and a lot is in bold, of hot people, I miss the time when Emmerich had the juice.
Well, I'm going to say that's Resurgence.
Is that your final answer?
It is.
Sorry, Andrew. Again, you were wrong. That's a review for ID4. Should I have?
Who are the hot people?
That's a great question.
That's I don't know who's in the second one, but I thought about the people in the first. Judd Hirsch is hot.
Will Smith is in it, I guess. A young Will Smith, a young Jeff Goldblum, although he plays a nerdier version of himself.
Okay, that's like 2 or 3 people.
Judd Hirsch.
That's not that many people.
Yeah. Harvey Fierstein, of course.
Yeah. So no, I think that's BS. Wow, this is going poorly.
Yeah. I'm sorry. All right. Next up, we have 2.5 stars from Buddy O. Mindless, lacks substance. You don't really give a ish. I've already cussed this episode. You don't really give a shit about anyone, but hey, the 2 hours flew by.
Okay. I'm finally going to be right. This is Resurgence.
You are correct, Andrew. This is Independence Day Resurgence.
Thank goodness.
Couldn't do that to you. Yep. All right. You're at 1 of 3 so far. Ready to move on?
Sure. Let's say yes.
1 star from Siegfried Sorstrand, who's using an avatar of one of the animated Clerks guys.
Okay.
The review is, this exists. That's again 1 star. This exists.
Well, you don't give me much to go on there.
I don't. I'm sorry. But it's very obvious if you think about it.
Well, yeah, but the problem is that when you do that, it's not obvious.
True.
And then I go, but maybe he's trying to get me to think of the original. Mm-hmm. But maybe he's trying to get me to think he's trying to get me to think of the original. And I just get in this endless mind F.
Would you like the assistance of the coin flipper app?
I feel like there's sort of an asymptotic possibility if I just keep saying Resurgence, getting 50%. So I'm going to say Resurgence.
You're correct.
Ding.
That
Thank
is
you.
Independence Day Resurgence, and you're back to 50% already. That's
the first time anyone's used the word asymptotic on our podcast, I believe.
Is it? I feel like I used it once.
Okay, good job.
Who knows? All right.
You can't spell asymptotic without symptom.
Reaching our midpoint, question number 5, review number 5. We have 4 stars from Christian DeLeo. All caps, peace, question mark, no peace, period. And then we have American flag emoji, black man emoji, plane emoji, desert emoji, explosion. It looks like the National Monument building, explosion.
It's ID4.
UFO, alien, the Discord robot, alien, biking. Yeah, you're right. It's
Ding.
ID4.
Okay, thank you.
Thought I would get through that. If you're watching the YouTube version of this, maybe you saw it on screen if I wasn't lazy. So now you're above 50%. You're batting 3 out of 5. How are you feeling?
Not great. I feel like it's all about to go downhill.
No, I think you got this one. 2.5 stars. This was watched by Kayla. No relation. Oh, wow. This was so cheesy. Ha 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 ha. That wedding ring was heinous too. OMGGGG. Again,
I don't know. The wedding ring was really bad in ID4. It was like a dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
But I never saw Resurgence, and there could have been another scene like that.
And it was not a good movie.
ID4.
Final answer?
Yes.
You're correct. Also, I should point out that this person's avatar is a drawn version of Will Smith in Wild Wild West.
I didn't trust this person from Go just because I don't think the movie's for her.
I'm pretty sure it's... Oh, yeah, it is Kayla. Okay, so this is 4 out of 6. You're back to, what is that, 66%?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Next one. 5 stars from Rodri Voce. All caps and bold. No, sorry, just bold. But each word is capitalized. This is how you make a sequel. 5 stars. This is how you make a sequel.
Interesting.
Is it?
ID4, not a sequel.
Correct.
The type of person that would capitalize every word in a sentence, including non-proper nouns and connecting words, seems possibly stupid enough to post that for ID4 when meaning to post it for Resurgence.
Oh, okay.
And you don't like to give me obvious ones, but then it's so obvious that it's ID4 that you would think that I would say Resurgence. That it's like hiding in plain sight.
It really is.
Resurgence. It's ID4. You bastard.
So I thought you got this. Andrew, this is a review for Hocus Pocus 2.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
And I forgot that classic outcome.
It was so obvious when you thought of it. I honestly thought you caught on there.
If only you had mentioned Walgreens again.
All right. Back to the actual game. 4 stars from Kyler. The perfect 4th of July movie.
ID4.
Final answer?
Hocus Pocus 2. No, I'm just kidding. I would go ID4.
You're correct. 5 out of 7 for you. All right. Let's kick it up a notch since you're now winning. Okay, we're going to go with this one. 2.5 stars from Mariana Neal. Things exploded. Landmarks were destroyed. Jeff Goldblum is awesome. The movie is enjoyable, but I'll probably forget all about it by tomorrow night. So very mid review for a very mid review. Things exploded. Landmarks destroyed. Landmarks were destroyed. Jeff Goldblum is awesome. The movie is enjoyable, but I'll probably forget all about it by tomorrow night.
I think that's Resurgence.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You're correct.
Ding.
Well done. You're at 75%, Andrew.
Yay.
After 8 questions plus a hocus pocus. How are you feeling now?
A little bit better.
Okay. I'm going to try not to give you a softball here.
That didn't feel like a softball. I just got it right.
No, these ones are softballs.
Oh.
5 stars from Frestini. I thought it would be bad because sequels are usually bad, but it was as good as the first one. I'm sobbing. I thought it would be bad because sequels are usually bad, but it was as good as the first one. I'm sobbing.
Hocus Pocus 2.
It's Hocus Pocus 2.
Ding.
Do I give you the bonus point for that?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Glad you eventually caught on for that. All right, we'll give you 7 out of 8 because you got a bonus point for guessing that one, and we're going with this one. This one didn't have a rating, which was weird because I thought you had to rate it to write a review. This is from Nicole Silverberg. My widowed Bill Pullman thirst overrides all else. Sorry. My widowed Bill Pullman thirst overrides all else. Sorry.
ID4.
What do you say ID4?
Well, his wife dies in that.
Mm-hmm.
He has to like put on a brave face for the daughter, and the mommy's sleeping, and then he goes on to give a rousing Independence Day speech after, I believe.
That you thirst for?
Yeah, I mean, Bill Pullman, he's one of the hot guys from the first one, right?
He's in both films, and
I know,
he's widowed
but
more in the second one.
Well, for longer, but he's hardened to it now.
Okay.
ID4.
You're right. Ding. I was trying to talk you out of it.
Hardened.
All right. Final one. You ready for this?
Yeah, ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
4 stars from Hal. Guys, it's okay. Will Smith didn't actually slap Chris Rock. He was just making an epic reference to when he punched that alien in Independence Day. 4 stars from Hal. Guys, it's okay. Will Smith didn't actually slap Chris Rock. He was just making an epic reference to when he punched that alien in Independence Day. Was this ID4?
That sounds like a softball for ID4.
Or IDR. Or was it Hocus Pocus 2?
I win already. So Resurgence.
Did I make my own account and make a Hocus Pocus 2 review about...
I'm going to say it's Resurgence.
No, this is for Independence Day.
Darn it.
But yep, you won. You did exceptionally well.
I did poorly at the beginning, but I just kept guessing the same thing until I started getting it right to get some confidence back.
You got an 80% with that bonus point. You would have got a 90%. I have one more Hocus Pocus 2 for you. 3 stars by Reese. No one asked for this, but I actually preferred this to the original, bringing a new modern genre to it. All of my Hocus Pocus 2 ones had to do with sequels, so I guess that only meant I could use one.
It's actually a review from Practical Magic 2.
What? How did I get this? It's not even out yet. But yeah, thanks for playing ID4 ID Boar. Well, what do you have to say to your fans, Andrew?
Welcome to Earth.
Not smack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and 4th of July. That's it for this
Happy
week's
America.
Civil War 3. That's it for this week's edition of Namely 90s. Remember, you can find a new episode out every Monday. Find us on Instagram, Bluesky, and YouTube at Namely 90s with 90s, and tell us what you want us to talk about on future episodes. If you'd like to support the show, please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Namely90s, also with 90s, and send us all to Vegas to party. Finally, you can also contact us through our website, namely90s.com. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Audible. I've already done Welcome to Earth. Get your wife's name out of your damn mouth. Pocket Cast, Castbox, iHeartRadio, Good Pods, and wherever you get podcasts from. I'm Brandon. That's Andrew, and we'll catch you next time. Boobies.